The Last Road Home. Chapter 10, Echoes. The news of Daniel's death spread through the small Iowa town like a cold wind, touching every corner of the community. At the ranch, the silence was suffocating. The house felt hollow, as if the walls themselves were grieving. Mark sat at the kitchen table, staring at the folded flag the soldiers had delivered. His injured knee throbbed, but he barely noticed. His hands trembled as he traced the edges of the fabric. He was supposed to come home next month, Mark whispered. Their mother stood at the stove, though she wasn't cooking. She just held onto the counter, knuckles white, as if letting go would make everything collapse. He promised he'd be careful, she said, voice cracking. He promised. Their father sat in his usual chair, shoulders slumped, eyes distant. The heart condition he'd tried so hard to hide now seemed carved into his face. He looked smaller somehow, diminished by grief. He died a hero, their father said, though the words sounded like they hurt to speak. Mark shook his head. He died because he was always trying to protect everyone else. Their father didn't argue. He couldn't. Evan wasn't home. He hadn't been home since the soldiers came. He'd shown up that night, drunk, furious, broken. He'd screamed at the world, at the army, at himself. Then he'd disappeared into the dark, leaving behind a trail of shattered glass and guilt. Mark clenched his jaw. I should have been there for him. For both of them. Their mother turned, tears streaming down her cheeks. Mark, this isn't your fault. But Mark didn't believe her. He pushed himself up from the table, limping toward the door. I'm going to find Evan. Their father called after him, be careful. Mark didn't respond. Outside, the sky was gray, heavy with the threat of rain. The fields stretched out in every direction, the same fields Daniel had grown up in, worked in, dreamed in. Mark felt the weight of those memories pressing down on him. He found Evan at the creek. Of course he did. The creek had always been their place, where they played, fought, healed. Where things began, where things broke. Evan sat on the bank, knees pulled to his chest, eyes red and unfocused. An empty bottle lay beside him. Mark approached slowly. Evan didn't look up. I killed him. Mark froze. What? Evan's voice cracked. If I hadn't been such a screw-up, if he didn't have to worry about me all the time, maybe he wouldn't have joined. Maybe he'd still be here. Mark sank down beside him, wincing as his knee protested. Evan, listen to me. Daniel didn't join because of you. Yes, he did, Evan insisted. He was always trying to fix everything. Fix me, fix Dad, fix the ranch. He left because he couldn't breathe here. Mark swallowed hard. He left because he wanted to become someone stronger. Someone he could be proud of. Evan shook his head violently. He shouldn't have had to. Mark's voice softened. None of us should have had to. But life doesn't care about should. Evan finally looked at him, eyes full of anguish. I don't know how to live without him. Mark felt his own tears rise. Me neither. They sat in silence, the creek murmuring beside them, the same sound it had made when they were boys. The same sound it would make long after they were gone. After a long moment, Mark spoke again. We can't fall apart, not now, not after everything. Evan wiped his face with the back of his hand. I don't know if I can do this. You don't have to do it alone, Mark said. Daniel wouldn't want that. Evan let out a shuddering breath. I miss him. Yeah, Mark whispered. Me too. The first drops of rain began to fall, rippling across the surface of the creek. The brothers sat together, letting the storm wash over them. Back at the house, their father stood at the window, watching the rain. Their mother rested her head on his shoulder, tears silent but steady. The ranch felt different now. Quieter, heavier, changed, but Daniel's presence lingered, in the fields, in the creek, in the hearts of the people who loved him. His story didn't end in the valley. It echoed here, in the place that shaped him. In the people he left behind. In the roads he walked, and the ones he never got to take.
Subscribe and click the bell to get notified about new chapters and stories. Thank you and enjoy.